male perspective.
You need to bring what? I'm sorry. You need to bring what?
I need to bring the male perspective
Oh,
to
exactly.
all that's going on. So
Exactly.
I've been a young man. I am a father, a grandfather, and as some people know, my other persona, I'm Uncle Wayne. So I want to bring that perspective to the project.
Okay, thank you, thank you. And there were some other men who initially signed up, but they didn't register for the Zoom meeting. So thank you for not only signing up, but showing up. I really appreciate that from a male perspective because we do need that. So I appreciate you for doing that. Thank you, baby. Debbie Kelly, you are next on the list.
Thank you. So I'm Debbie Kelly, and I'm an unpublished author. So I've written several things, gotten different things out of my head onto paper, but have not completed the process. So I know. Well, one of them was nonfiction, and so anyway. So I'm here because I work at an elementary school, and when all of this started, we were talking about the need for us to get things out and on paper and not hold in what we're feeling. And some of us were talking about the Diary of Anne Frank and how, you know, it was just a girl putting down on paper what she was going through during that time and how it has continued to this day and it's impacting people. And I'm like, we need to do that in this time. So it was something that I had thought about. And so I'm just so grateful that Coach Laura was thinking the same way. And she is the one to put it together and bring us together. And I think it's going to be awesome. And I look forward to participating.
Thank you, Debbie. Tiffany Wiltshire, you're going to be next on our list.
Hey everybody, my name is Tiffany Wiltshire. I am a teacher at Tyner Academy. I actually teach 12th grade English, so this is kind of right up my alley as far as writing is concerned, but most of the time I'm writing. And I thought this was be a good opportunity to come from a perspective of someone who teaches predominantly African American kids and teenagers, because they're about to kind of brink into adulthood. And so a lot of my stories are dealing with writing and then how we deal with our kids in the educational system. So that's will be a good perspective.
Okay, cool. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Miss Sandra Merritt, you are going to be next on our list. Who are you? Where are you from? And what are you going to contribute? What do you hope to contribute to this project?
Okay, hi, Sandra Merritt, and I'm from Canton, Ohio, Hall of Fame City. I am a published author of a poetry book called Is Every Morning New? And I'd like to participate in the way of poetry specific for this time that we're going through right now.
Okay, thank you, Miss Sandra. Cam Ashford, you are going to be next.
Hello, everyone. I'm Cam Ashford, and I'm currently a freelance writer based here in Chattanooga. And I just love writing of all types. And I'm looking forward to participating in this awesome project in any way that I can. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bettina, you are next on our list. You got to unmute yourself. Wait a minute. You got to unmute yourself.
Okay, sorry about that. I do apologize. Hello, everyone. I'm Bettina Woodard. I'm from Chattanooga, Tennessee, and it's a pleasure being part of this project that's going on. I feel like we all have something to offer. I am an author, a published author. I'm a motivator, teacher, and encourager.
Okay, thank you so much. Then we have Natasha. Is it Natasha or Natasha? Okay, go ahead and unmute yourself. There you go.
Okay, can you hear me a little bit better? So I'm trying to
Very
work off my phone. Hi,
Very good.
my name's is Natasha Wilson. I am originally from Las Vegas, Nevada. I moved to Chattanooga, I want to say like 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. My son and I was trafficking victims. That's what brought us to Chattanooga. And I didn't too much write until like 2 years ago when I was going through my therapy, becoming a survivor of trafficking. My therapist was like, write it down, whatever you're feeling. And I noticed that when I read back, what I accomplished and how far I came. So I think it's a good therapy to start writing and start talking to share my story. So that's why I want to participate.
Okay, thank you, Natasha.
You're welcome.
Dr. Miranda, you are next. Unmute yourself.
Hi, everybody. I am Dr. Miranda Pearson, and I live in North Carolina. I am a published author, licensed teacher, licensed therapist, and my niche is trauma therapy. So I hope to bring some perspective of trauma and what we're going through in the world on today. I also have a niche in African American men and boys as it pertains to trauma. That's what I did my dissertation on, absentee fathers and the trauma that they suffered. And so I hope to bring a fresh perspective on trauma.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Definitely needed during this time. It's so many different avenues and levels of things that we're experiencing. And I, in my 54 years, I haven't seen this. So it's like definitely needed. Okay, so who are we? I think Debbie, we just did you. You moved here on my list here. Sharifa, you're next on the list there.
Hi, everyone. I'm not going to show my face. I'm not feeling very well, but
Okay.
I wanted to make sure I joined. My name is Sharifa Lewis. I live in Virginia. I am a published children's author, and I am the CEO and founder of a women's organization called Distinguished Intelligent Lady. And my contribution is I really believe in empowering people. And so I feel like this project is bringing people together to empower other people, especially during what we're going through right now. So I guess I'm still trying to figure out what piece I would add. So that's part of why I wanted to join the meeting today to hear the totality of everything.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Sheena Parsons, I know you said you weren't feeling well. Do you feel well enough to kind of give us a brief intro, who you are, where you're from?
Yes, ma'am. Hey, y'all. Nice to meet you all. My name is Sheena Parson. I'm originally from over by Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Been living in Chattanooga for about past five or so years. I hold this project real dear to my heart, and I'm really thankful that Coach Laura has created something like this, because I actually went through the murder and dismemberment of my father by 4 white men when I was 4 years old, and I was mute for the next 5 years, which prompted me to write. So I published my first poetry book about a decade ago based on that pain and the pain of losing my father, and the things that I had to go through in life, and the pain of being married to my husband, who was a unsaved Black man, and being a Black woman in this society. So I just feel like everything is coming back full circle, and I really believe that the pain that I went through was for a purpose, and that's all I'm here to bring.
Okay, thank you, Sheena. Hope you're
Thank
feeling
you.
better soon, sweetie.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Okay, and then we have Colin Lewis. I'm asking, unmute yourself. Tell us who you are, where you're from, what you hope to contribute. Where'd you go? Oh, there he is. Hey, Colin.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
It's great to see you.
It's good to see you.
Shalom to everyone that is on this evening. I just wanted to say again, as so many have said, thank you for the vision to do such a project. It is high time that we begin to do things like this, and so I just thank you first and foremost for that. But my name is Colin Lewis. I am living currently in Virginia. I'm from Ohio. And what I would like to, if possible, contribute would be to encourage Black men. You know, we hear a lot that there's not enough Black fathers and Black men in the home, but I just want to write something to encourage those that are to remain solid and to stay strong through this, because it's tough out here for us. And it's not just, you know, for the Black men, but that's what I would like to contribute something for them.
Okay, thank you, Colin. I appreciate it. So once again, I thank all of you for doing this. And so I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the project. As far as, you know, people would ask me, well, you know, who can participate? And as you can see, this is really open to anyone. And I'm not looking for this to be an echo chamber of, I just want people who agree with how I agree with. And so all of us on here and those who may join us later, we may have some dissenting opinions. And if you can't live with having someone with an opinion different from yours being on the same, you know, the same project as you, then I'm going to tell you this is probably not going to be the project for you, because I'm not looking for an echo chamber of thoughts, an echo chamber of ideals. I want you guys to be free to share whatever you want to share. It will be respectful. There are going to be some guidelines that we're going to give, but I'm definitely not looking for an echo chamber. So if you guys, before we finalize the list, if you know of someone who may want to participate in this project, I'm not looking for only Black people. I'm not looking for only women. I'm not looking for only adults. As you can see, we have a youth here. So once again, you know, my boundaries for who I would love to participate is basically anyone who feels as though they have a relevant thought to share. So that's just, I'm gonna get that out. So my ideal for this project is to be sort of a time capsule of this moment that we're in now, that as we gather our thoughts, as we gather our hurts, our pains, our anger, our trauma, our joys, our victories, all of that we've experienced during this period. And when I say this period for you may have started a year ago with something else. So I'm not even limited it to, oh, we're only talking about what's happened since January of 2020. For some of you, as Sheena shared, this stuff has, you know, may have happened years ago, and now you're getting to a point where you want to add your voice and how that impacts you today in the big scheme of things. So don't limit yourself to talk about just this particular time frame, but I do want this to be a time capsule where 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now, someone can look back on this, you know, however we're getting books. You know, right now it's paperback and Kindle. Who knows what it will be 50 years from now. But they can look back on this. One thing I do know about published works is that they're eternal. If you think back to all of the published books from hundreds and thousands of years ago, publishing is an eternal work. And so the words that we publish through this, if you think of it as an eternal work and a time capsule that someone 30, 40, 50, 100 years from now can look back at this project and see, this is what Lisa was thinking, this is what Sandra was thinking. And I think that's an awesome thing. So this will be a professionally published work. We're not going to be stapling things together. We're not going to get it printed at Office Depot and get the little comb binders. This will be a professionally published work. That's what I do for a living. It's going to be a professionally published work available on Amazon. I probably will get it into Barnes and Nobles. And so it will be, you know, anyone can have access to it. My goal is to have this published and ready to go by October the 1st of this year. And so we have all of July, all of August, all of September. We can do this in a 3-month time span. So that's my goal. And you guys will be receiving, for those of you who decide to move forward with me, you will be receiving, you know, timelines and things like that as when things have to be turned in. So we're looking at October 1st as a launch date. October 1st has no special meaning other than it's about a 90-day window that I think I can get this done within. I'm in school at the moment getting finishing up my degree in creative writing and nonfiction. And so I'm in the middle, I just started doing my class on Shakespeare. So you guys pray for me. So I figured between that and this, October 1st is probably a good time for me to be able to get everything done. Once again, like I said, it's going to be on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles. It will be a Kindle book. And you guys, for those of you who decide to do the resale part, you guys can sell it on your own websites. You know, you can, take it when you do your speaking engagements. And so, and I will explain that a little bit later. But once again, this will be a professionally published project. It will be on Amazon. We will have it in Barnes and Nobles. It will be available for Kindle. And so it will, people will have access to it. So why am I doing this? And for me, I want to talk about the name first. Why did I say Voices from the Edge? And for those of you who know me, I'm going to you already know this, but for me, the title is not written in stone. This is called a working title, because as we begin to put the pieces in together, we all may collectively say, you know what, that name doesn't work for us anymore. And I am not going to be offended. But for right now, the working title is Voices from the Edge. And when I was praying about this and, thinking, what was my role in this? And, the whole book project came up. I thought about the phrase, the tipping point. And it seems as though the George Floyd incident was a tipping point. It wasn't the start of anything, and it definitely won't be the end, but it just seemed like it was just something about that particular thing that was the tipping point. And so when I thought about a tipping point, I thought about just people on the edge, on the precipice of either, jumping over something or things like that. And so when I thought about voices from the edge, I think all of us are on an edge of some sort collectively as a nation, even globally as a nation. I think that we are just at a tipping point where the decisions that we make today, there will be no going back to, as we've been talking about, the new normal and things like that. I think the things are going to be forever changed. And for me, that's a tipping point. And so, we are the voices at the edge, at the precipice of that tipping point, looking back over what's happened, but then also looking to that edge where you have to decide, am I going to stay here or am I going to jump? And so that's kind of how the name kind of plays out. And another reason why I want to do this, because our voices are relevant. What you have to say is relevant. And so often we don't get a chance to really articulate that in conversations, especially in heated conversations. And it's usually much easier to articulate what we're thinking when we're writing it down, because we don't have people coming at us. And so our voices, no matter what it is you have to say, I feel our voices are going to be a relevant timepiece in all of this, for people to look back on and see the wisdom that's being shared. Do I think that this is the only time our nation will experience a moment like this? I don't know. But what I do know is that if we ever get to a moment like this, people will have a roadmap of how this group of people managed to get through it, and we managed to be victorious. And so once again, this is a time capsule of wisdom and relevance. It's a legacy for future generations. Like I said, 30, 40, 50 years from now, your children, your children's children, your children's children's children can look back and say, wow, this is what, my great-great-grandmother, Lisa, thought at this time. And I think that's a relevant piece, even with Michaela. She's 12 now. I think I want to always keep her at 10, and I know she's not 10, and I have to let her grow up. So I think she's 12, 13 now. And so to think that 30 years from now, her children can read what she wrote. 40, 50 years from now, her grandchildren can read what she wrote. And I think that's just an amazing and awesome thing to consider, that she felt as though she had something to contribute to this. And her grandchildren, her great grandchildren can look back and say, oh, great grandma Michaela wrote this. I think that's just an amazing thing. It excites me to even think about that. Once again, I want this to be a project that inspires. I want this to be a project that encourages not only those of us who are contributing to it, but those of us who read it. I want it to, to motivate some people. I want it to challenge the status quo. Once again, some of us may be angry, but I don't want you to just to stay stuck in your anger when you're writing. I want you to use that anger and say, yeah, I'm angry, but don't leave people there. So whatever you write, whatever you submit, please keep in mind, how does this inspire? How does this encourage? How does it challenge the status quo? How does it motivate? Or how will it motivate someone when they read it? So that when you're writing your piece, you're going to keep all of that in mind. I want this to be, when somebody walks away and close that last page, they'd be like, oh, wow, this, I feel better than I did before. How is this going to work? You guys will submit your piece. If you're doing a prose, essay, or anything like that, I need you to keep it to 1,500 words or less. That would be about maybe five printed pages. And so that would turn into about maybe 6 pages or so in the book. It's going to be a 6x9, typical 6x9 book. And so if you keep it to 1,500 words, if you're doing prose or things like that, now you can submit multiple pieces, but I would like each piece to be no more than 1,500 words. Of course, if you're doing poetry, you're not going to have a 1,500 word poem. You might have an epic, but you can submit, multiple pieces, as many as you like. It will be, professionally edited. And so when you send your work in, we're going to have an editor go over it. And so, it might get sent back to you and say, hey, we need to fix this, fix that. So don't be offended, because once again, I want this to be a professional piece. You said we had some English teachers on here and things like that. So, I may be calling on you guys to even kind of help look over some things, because right now I'm a team of one. And so I'm not going to be able to do everything. So I'm definitely going to be calling on those with knowledge and expertise in different areas. We are going to have a launch day collaboration on October 1st, and I will tell you more about that when the time comes. But it won't be, we're not going to release this in silence. We're not going to release this in secret. We are going to be pumping this thing up. We are going to be telling folks to look for this thing, and so we are going to be excited about it. And so we are going to have some type of launch day virtual party, because we don't know what this whole COVID-19 thing and social distancing, and whether or not we'll be able to have a party someplace, but we are going to party some way, somehow, when this thing is printed. So you guys mark your calendars for that. You will have, for those who desire, you will have permission to resell this book. And so it's going to be published under our collective name. And so you guys will have the ability to buy the book at a discounted price, and then you can resell it on your platforms at your events. And so what does that mean? That means, let's say our price point for the book is $20 on Amazon. You may only pay, let's say, $7, $8, maybe no more than $10 for the book. You sell the book for $20, you've made a $10 profit. And so, for those of you who, have your own websites, you have speaking engagements where you sell your books and things like that, this is also a way to add another stream of income to what you do. You can sell it to your friends and your family. We know our families are going to, support us, purchase our books and things like that. So it is a way to add a stream of revenue for you. So definitely, keep that in mind. So I know you're asking, well, Laura, who's going to pay for all this? Collectively, I'm hoping that you guys are okay with collectively putting in just a small investment. And I'm going to tell you right now, I was talking to my husband, this is not a big money making project for me. I just want to, I have a little bit of grant money that I had from another project. I have a little bit of that money left over, and I'm going to put in a large chunk of my own, but I can't cover the entire cost. Hey, Dr. M, thank you. And so this is what the investment is going to cover. It's going to cover the editing. We're going to definitely pay someone to edit. I'm going to do, the major first round of editing to make it as inexpensive as possible. By the time it gets to a professional editor, we're going to pay to have a professional book cover designer. Because I want the book cover to be on point. Definitely, if you guys have ideas about the book cover, I don't have any idea for the book cover as of yet. So we'll be kind of putting our heads together on that. We're going to be paying for marketing and promo materials and things like that. Definitely the ISBN numbers. For those of you who have published before, you know that the ISBN number by itself is $125 just for one number. And we are going to pay for a professional or a official copyright. So the entire book will be copywritten. And so that there's a cost for that this money will go to. And just a note about the copyright is that although the book is going to be copyrighted, you guys will own your own piece. So your piece will be copyrighted within the book, but you are free to take whatever you submit, and you can submit it to magazines or other things like that. So I am not going to hold your piece exclusively to this. There will be some, non-disclosure agreements you will have to sign, some non-compete agreements that we will get into, some legal things like that, but you will own the copyright to whatever you submit, whether it's some of you might submit, a digital storytelling piece of some type. So anything you submit to me, it belongs to you. I just want to make that clear. A lot of times when you submit things to magazines and things like that, they tell you you can't submit it to anyone else. And so, for me, what you submit belongs to you. And so I've came up with 3 different levels that you guys can choose, because I want to make sure that it's affordable for everyone. So the first level is called the silver level. Basically, $25, you submit, you come in at $25 level, that'll be your contribution to the entire cost of this $25. For those of you who would like to get into having the ability to resell the project, to buy it at a discounted rate, and then to resell it, we have the gold level. You get your submission, you will get 5 copies of the book at the end that you can, once again, you can resell. So I'm thinking the price point would probably be at least $20. And so once again, let's say the discounted price is, I'm going to say 10. That's probably kind of high, but I'm going to say 10. You sell the books, you've already made your 50 bucks. You've already made $50 back. So you would get 5 copies, and then you will have 6 months access to buying more books at that discounted rate to continue to keep on selling at your leisure. The next level is the platinum level, and that's $100. You get the submission, you get 10 copies of the book. At the end of the project, you will get 10 copies, but you will have a lifetime access to the discounted book. So for as long as this book exists, 10, 15, 20 years from now, you want to continue buying this book to sell on your website or to sell at your speaking engagements, you will have lifetime access to be able to purchase this book at a discount to resell on your own. And like I said, those monies will go toward the cost of all the publication costs. And for those of you who are already authors, you know how much it really costs to publish a book just, by yourself. So, with that, if we have any questions there, please let me know. So once again, if you think, if you feel as though this is for you and you want to go, go further with this, you can go to my website. The gold price is $75. So you got the silver is 25, the gold is 75, the platinum is 100. If you feel as though you want to do this, you guys can go to my website. It's www.coachlaurbrown, and you'll see a button that says Voices from the Edge. It's a green button on the very first page, and it will take you to the page with the different packages and the different explanation of the packages. I'm going to close it out after a week. I am definitely not one of these people where you have to make a decision in the next 5 minutes or the price raise. I don't do that pressure thing like that. I want you to go into this with your eyes wide open. And I'm going to make sure that people who are not here, I'm going to send the recording to them so they have a chance to make their decisions. So with that, if you're interested, www.coachlaurbrown.com. Look for the green button that says Voices from the Edge Project, and it will take you to the page with the different package prices. And then you will, there's 25, 75, and 100, colon. 25, 75, and 100. The 75 will get you 5 books. The 100 will get you 10 books. You will have, access to, once again, buy the book at a discounted price, discounted from the retail price, and then you can sell it typically at whatever price point you want. On Amazon, it might be 20. If you say, hey, I'm going to be in LA, everything costs more in LA, I'm going to sell the books for $25. That's on you. I'm not even going to control what price you sell the books for. I would ask, especially if you're in the same town as people, don't try to undercut that. I'm going to sell a book for $5. You're going to be losing money if you do. But once again, we don't want to devalue our project either. And so I'm looking at the price point on Amazon right now. The price point I'm looking at is going to be at least $20, and we'll see what we end up with page count wise and things like that. So with that, I'm going to unmute you guys. And if you have any questions, you guys have to unmute yourself. I guess I can't unmute you. You guys have to unmute yourself. I'm going to read the chats here. Do we have any questions? We're good. Okay, Bettina, you got a question?
Oh, no, I don't have any questions. I fully understand.
Okay. Good.
Sounds like a great project that you've come up with.
Okay, good. So once again, yes, Renee?
My only question, I'm definitely in and will support this. So my only question is, are you going to give us some more guidelines over the writing in itself?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Once you go to the to my website and you go ahead and select your package, check your email, because emails are going to be pretty much how we're going to communicate. There's also a private Facebook group that you will have access to, and where we will keep in contact. And once again, I will be giving out more guidelines. I didn't want to do that here tonight for those who weren't interested in that, but definitely there will be guidelines for those of you who need any kind of writing help. Once again, those who know me know that I am a coach at heart, and I can't do anything without teaching something. So definitely, you can expect different guidelines. You can expect different writing helps, things like that to help you along with your writing. For those like, well, I'm not really a great writer. That's what we have editors for, that we will make your piece into a great piece. So you guys can expect writing tips and things like that to help you with your writing. Like I said, really this is just a way for you to share your thoughts, share your wisdom and things like that. Any other questions? We're good. So with that, if there are no questions, I don't want to keep you here any longer than we have to. I'm looking at my paper here. I've covered all of the notes that I said I wanted to talk about. We will, I said I'm gonna keep, I'll keep the registration open probably for a week, just for, you know, those who didn't attend to be able to get the recording and then make their decisions. You know, initially, like I said, I had asked for about 40 people. I knew if I asked for 40, I might get 25 or 30 to say they were interested. I knew out of that 25 or 30 who said they were interested, I would probably get 10 or 15 people to actually show up tonight. And so if you look at the number of participants, I'm kind of right on the money. So I pretty much know the average between people who, you know, say they want to commit and people who are actually committed. And so I figure out of, you know, the 17 to 20 people that might hear this message, you know, we might actually have maybe 10 or 15 who actually will commit and say, we'll do it. So even though I knew I said I wanted 40, I pretty much knew the number I would end up with. And I'm, you know, so we're right at what I pretty much figured. So once again, you know, if you want to submit more than one thing, you know, definitely we will, you know, take as many pieces you want. And once those pieces are submitted, we'll figure out how to organize it. Right now, it's in a real organic phase. I don't want to give you guys subject matters. I will shoot out some suggestions and some different creative things that you might can do with a piece in our subsequent emails from now. So you guys will be getting some very, you know, some creative ideas. Those of you who know me know I can come up with some pretty creative ways to do things. So I will be sharing those. Please make sure to check your emails on a regular basis, because this is how we will communicate. And, you know, feel free to join that private Facebook group. It will only be for those who have decided to move forward. And so you'll be getting some writing tips and things like that there too. So any other questions, comments, concerns? Did I miss anything?
Coach Laura, this is Sheena. I have one question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
So I had asked 2 associates if they would like to participate, and I hear what you're saying, what your goal is and everything like that. They're 2 they're 2 white, well, one's a white guy and one's a white female, but their main concern was, isn't that a Black project? So
No.
so I just want to make sure so they can write a piece, their point of view from the white point of view, that's okay, and they can feel comfortable.
Yes, you can
Okay.
forward them, send them to the website, coachlaurbrown.com. You can kind of give them an overview of the information. And like I said, yes, this is not an echo chamber. I don't even want it to be a mirror chamber. I don't want people that look just like us, because that's the problem. That's the problem now.
Right.
And so we want, so definitely I welcome, you know, I will polka dot voices. I don't care. If it's relevant, we want them to be a part. So definitely share this information with them.
Okay, will do.
Thank you, Sheena.
You're welcome.
Anybody else?
Well, I do have a question since I've been sitting here. As far as topics and of that nature, I know you said you haven't really decided on, you know, as far as, you know, subjects and all that. So do we start on the on this project now, or I know after we, you know, actually make, you know, read all the disclaimer and all that, you know, read what's entailed in it, take a closer look at what's involved in it.
Yeah, and like I said, you know, I will send you some suggested topics for those who need a little help in stirring their creative pot, but I don't want to give those boundaries that you have to write about this. I want you guys to be free. And so, you know, so if you need help with the topic, definitely I will be sending some suggestions, but you can take those suggestions and flush them if whatever. And so I want you guys to be free to add whatever it is you feel that's relevant. My only thing is it must inspire or motivate or challenge or something. I just don't want angry rants and then you leave it at that. You save that for your diary. For this, we want to inspire, we want to motivate, we want to encourage, we want to challenge the status quo. We want to maybe, you know, sometimes what you say might trigger somebody, but if it's a good trigger, that's fine. So I don't have specific boundaries. I will give suggestions.
Right, because I wouldn't want to overlap what somebody else is saying. You know, sometimes we can be thinking very similar.
Right.
You know, information wise, and so I wouldn't want to overlap information. That's why I was asking about subjects.
Okay.
But I understand, you know, as far as when we get more into it and decide which one of these areas that we're going to participate in, as far as the silver, gold, or platinum, then, you know, I'm sure they will go more into depthness about the project.
Right.
And so you're talking about from this week, from today's date to next Thursday?
Right. And
okay.
If for some reason, like someone just said, okay, they want to be a part, but, you know, can they do another payday? You know, inbox me and we can work out something, you know, different. You know, I don't want to keep anybody from participating in this project. Those of you who know me, you know my motto is the midwife of Moses. I don't kill nobody's baby. I'm a midwife. I don't kill nobody's baby. So if you want to be a part of this project, you know, we will make a way for you to be a part of this.
It's not going to be fun, you know, inspiring and motivating, although it'll be inspiring and motivating for someone else, but it's also a way to, you know, for us to come together as a group.
Right.
And encourage each other, you know, so I like that aspect of it.
Yes, definitely. So any other questions, Renee? Renee, yes, your answer to your question to me is yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Anyone else? And like I said, this is recorded, and so you can expect an email, excuse me, with a copy of the recording probably within the next 24 hours. If for some reason you need to re-listen to it, or you want to send it to someone who you think might be interested, you know, they can go back and watch it and get the information. And so we'll keep this open. Like I said, I'll keep the registration open at least for a week. If I need to keep it beyond that, you know, I will. I just want to make sure that, you know, I want to know who's in, get you on that mailing list so you guys can start getting the information. Definitely, even if you don't know what to write right now, start working on your bios, because each and every person's bio will be a part of the project. So if you think, oh, I just don't know what to write, start writing your bio. If nothing else, start telling us a little bit about yourself there. Any more questions? Okay. So with that, once again, I thank you all for lending your voice to this project. I thank you all for trusting me with your babies. You know, I think anybody who decides to put their words on paper, for me, those are book babies. And so I handle every book baby as a midwife. I handle every book baby with love and care. And so I really appreciate you guys trusting me to be a part of your birthing process, especially if this is the first time you've ever published anything, which is really exciting for me to have a first time book mommy and book daddy. So I'm just really excited about that. So if there are no other questions or comments, thank you guys so much. And I am so excited about this project, and I'm so excited to see how it's going to turn out. So I wish you all a good evening. Please look, you know, once you sign up, look in your email for a confirmation email, a link to the Facebook group page, and I will see you guys real soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All righty. Take it easy. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Thank you for joining us, Cam. Yes, Bettina. Bye-bye. Oh, bye-bye. Bye, Bettina.
Bye.
Bettina, you got married?
I did. I'm Miss Washington. I've been married for a little over 2 years now.
All right, Miss Washington.
Oh, why did we miss that? Okay, all right, okay.
We missed that.
Okay.
You know, I still carry all my names. You know, they all
Say all your names. You
my
collected,
life,
like
you
you
know?
collected names.
I'm not collecting anymore. This is it.
Okay, well, you keep carrying all those names and don't let it get too heavy.
I know.
All right, bye-bye, LJ.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye, Cam. We're good. Good night, Natasha. Are you still there? Here we go.